Here. You need help doing what? Here. You already know I'm about to go in. Hold on. I got some good shit for y'all. You don't bring no what? You do it right now? I'm doing the video. I'm doing it when you're done. What else is? Oh. Alright. Peace and abundance. Peace and abundance. 888 abundance. What's going on? Peace to the God. Peace to the gods. Everybody hopping in and hopping out the room. I see. Shout out to everybody who's in here. Peace. What's going on, Baron? What's going on, Poet? Let me know I'm coming through clearly. But I'm going to get straight into it. Alright, that's a bit. Okay, so we're going to start off like this. As we all know, we are cells. This is why I'm talking to you on the cell phone. It's a reminder of self. You are made up of trillions of cells operating as one unit. So throughout your body, there's millions of cells that are constantly reproducing electrons, protons, and neutrons. Each one of those cells has a vitamin D receptor, and for a good specific reason. We're going to get deep into polygyny and how that runs the world. But first, you must understand microscopically why we are led astray, why we are led away from our natural instinctive nature. Occasionally, something goes wrong with the cells in your body. This is what's called a sickness or dis-ease. Essentially, when your body starts vibrating at a frequency that's lower than 52 megahertz, that's when the body can actually be in dis-ease. You cannot have a dis-ease. You can only be in dis-ease. At ease, not at ease. So once your body moves at a particular dis-ease, or you get to that location, you now start to destroy yourself. So if you're in a relationship, you will start to destroy your relationship, especially if that ship is projecting you into a field of higher frequencies. Understand that a lack of vitamin D, which not only comes from you being in tune with the earth, but also you being in tune with the astros, causes the body to self-destruct. Vitamin D tells the cells how to build, how to properly carry the information and the instructions that DNA is giving out. So, check this, right? Imagine what happens when your body has a lack of vitamin D. Mutated cells start to multiply uncontrollably, and eventually cancer spreads throughout the body. This is how cancer is created within the body, is through spreading, destroying, interfering with information that's being transferred in between cells. The reason why they have done away with the power of polygyny is due to the fact that the real wealth comes from family. Once a man accepts and says that he is polygynous, he always gets his queen, but what he manifests is his queen through multiple individuals. You have to understand you're not a human being, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. What that means is that by design, we have already been here multiple lifetimes. Time is all happening simultaneously. The past, the future all coincide with the present. They all go inside. So what this means is that your past life is simply another reality. Your past life is another reality. Understand that family is when a man is reproducing himself. Family has to do for man in reproducing himself. The man plants the seed, and the woman is the soil in which the seed can grow. Peace, God. So, women essentially they don't only have the natural instinct, but they have an urge and inclination to reproduce man. That's a huge part of their purpose. There's five main purposes, when it comes to the divine woman, but right now we're talking about relationships. Man represents mind, woman represents reproduction of that mind. So when a man finds a good woman, he finds a good thing because now he can duplicate himself through that woman. Right? A woman, we can call a woman, she's like I'm trying to think, what's the name of the device in the computer that replicates things? What's the function of the computer that takes care of that? Essentially, when a man has sex with a female, the man is giving the woman his soul. The woman is now taking that energy, that spirit, an individual soul, that spirit, and giving it a body, giving it a being, giving it a space for it to be expressed. The very nature of a woman is her womb, and in her womb, she takes one cell and turns it into 4, into 8, so on and so forth, and turns it into an entire being. Inside the womb is the space of creation. So we have to think of ourselves as one being, but we have 50 billion cells that must be reproduced by the feminine energy. So this is also why we say that a man cannot be complete without a woman, because the womb man holds the space, the position of creation. That's the feminine energy. It's not just a cloner, but it's a sustainer of life. That's what women do. They sustain life. Being able to take in, literally, that's what they have to do. They have to take in the phallus. And if you look up the definition of sustain, we will see that it describes woman. Sustain means strength or support physically or mentally. This is the description of the characteristics of the womb man and what she is designed to do. Man and woman have a design. It doesn't matter what we feel or what we think. There's a particular function that was given to us within our particular beings, our bodies that we're carrying. So no matter what you want to be in life, when you're born a boy, the one thing you're going to be when you grow up is a man. And when you're born a girl, one thing you're going to be when you grow up is a woman. So that's our natural roles. So we can see this is now why they affect us both physically, mentally, as well as biologically, in regards to what it is that we're able to see, because what we see essentially becomes what we believe. So most are stuck in a society who is building their agenda. And you have to understand that you are simply repopulating someone else's agenda. You are repopulating someone else's society. So generally, people are peace and love, family. What's going on in life is process. People are ignorant batteries, stupid batteries, sitting, having problems and arguments with each other, just making more inefficient entities, bodies, babies towards another man's agenda. And that's what's going on. So the United States of America, you have the United States, then you have Amaru, they have an agenda, and these are men who have the agenda. The men, 50 plus men, wrote the Constitution. They have an agenda. United States is a corporation, 28 USC 3002, United States Code. And these private families, the families that operate within trusts and operate within non-for-profits, right, churches, they keep us within their cults or their culture. And while the meantime they're sitting behind operating the system, which stands for save yourself time, energy, and money, that they created, they sit behind and watch the matrix happen as we feed it with our energy, our attention, and we expand it by repopulating this matrix at the same time. Does that make sense? So they fake human nature. They fake it, right? So we're going against our human nature. Our human nature is to have sex with each other, man and woman, in order to reproduce, in order to sustain and procreate. That's our nature. But we are having sex meaninglessly, repopulating, giving the matrix more power so that the creators of the matrix, they become more powerful, and they have more control over other people and other lands, and they can protect the lands with the people that they have that we're creating. So we're supposed to create through a way where we connect with our family. Your family is your frequency. Those who can be on your wave, those who can enter, and understand you. Therefore, y'all create the Holy Trinity. When you find that frequency, that's your family. Collectively, you're supposed to grow your family, and when your children grow to a certain age, your family can operate and run your business. Those are your employees and then your business partners, as well as they can help run a corporation, a house, a trust entity. That's 100% facts. We're living in a false reality outside of reality. So once a man wakes up, he realizes I need a womb man, and once womb man wakes up, she realizes I need man. Man needs nature, Mother Nature, Mudir Nature. I denature it to his energy, his legacy, and the womb man needs God. She needs the generator, the operator, and the destroyer of systems in order to create systematic organization within a structure or a position and point that they're in. Marriage is 100% a business proposal. So the thing is, once we have a family, they want us to raise our family where? Oh, in this society, meaning that they want us to repopulate their shit and give them more energy units so they can take our kids to school and they can teach our kids how to become an outstanding United States citizen. This is why they don't want the black or the melanated man rising up, stepping up into his power, because we have the intelligence encoded within us. Our DNA, even our melanin holds information, because the melanin is a semiconductor. It's electric, literally. It's carbon, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, electrons. So it's actually antimatter and matter at the same time. So they don't want us to recreate ourselves with high frequency beings, which is why they project murder music and they project death notes literally across movies, television, across news, paper, in order to throw our frequencies off so that we don't massively reproject ourselves, because essentially a child already has embedded within them their purpose and what they're going to do on this plane. All you're here to do as a parent, which is a pair who's renting, is you're just here to guide the child. Eventually that child will do what is encoded in them. So all you do is take care of the child, but you don't have to teach the child anything, right? A lion doesn't go to school, a gorilla doesn't go to school, giraffes, no animal in nature goes to school to figure out how to be themselves. Only human beings do this. Only human beings go to school to figure out how to be themselves, to grow up. No other animal goes to school. A lion don't go to school. Birds don't go to school. So when we go to school, it's indoctrination. So indoctrination is just programmed information, meaning it needs to be programmed because we're batteries. You have our energy, our skin. The way we work is we have a brain that's connected to a central nervous system, and that central nervous system literally picks up electrical impulses. So we're electrical beings, and they have us thinking that we're flesh beings, and this is why at times we move slower than we can in our reality, because we don't remember the speed in which we operate within. So we operate within hell, the 3D, and not heaven, the 5D. I digress, right? So when we go to school, we are being programmed to the other man's agenda. Yep, indoctrination is forced perspective. That's going back to school. There's an agenda, because this man, he owns his own society. We're in another man's society, which we are literally go to the government to get our kids, our children programmed, because nothing in nature needs to go to school. You know why it's called information? Is inside already, your DNA. No one can teach you who you are. Only you can find that out yourself. right? So let me continue. This making sense. So as you grow, you formulate information, aka knowledge within you. So you are born with all the knowledge you need, but they do not need you to be you. They need you to be American. And this is why you go to school and you say the pledge. They need you to be American because not just they need you to be American and not just any type of American, but a black or white or Hispanic American, because those are statuses, which a status is a state and a state is a place or position. So your status gives you the position in which you stand in. You're either going to be a pawn, you're going to be a king, you're going to be a queen, or you're going to be something less than. So this is why they give you that status. They want you to be American. So they teach you how to be American. You go to school to learn what? How to be an American, how to live within their domain and their system, and how to survive within their world. As they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? This is a manipulation of your mind's process, your mind's eye, and an interference of your currency. Well, I'm funding, so we create the money. So they know they only need people. They don't need anything besides people. They use us to create their world. We give power to money. We make money valuable. We determine the value. So they need us, and they need us to not be ourselves, but us to be American, so that they can then create a system that we follow. Because we're not ourselves, we are participating in their orders. We're in their order. Understand what I'm saying to you now? Literally debt based, which is that has to do with the negative component of currency, negative debt. So they operating on the negative side, the 6, and not the 9. You know what I'm saying? So now going back to you, men trying to establish their own world. You're not a man in this world because a world is a domain or it is a matrix. You cannot create a matrix within a matrix. Men create worlds. You must leave the matrix and create your own world. The nature of a man is to be independent. It is to be dominant. This is what testosterone does. So black men who once ruled this earth, you do not rule the earth anymore. The oppressor or the slave master rules the earth. And we live within his world. And your degree of success only goes as high as becoming just like your slave master. Your degree is only as good as you becoming just like your slave master, because he will make sure that you can never be better than him. So when we see success in this world, what do we see? We see cars, jewelry, clothes, women. This is the epitome of success. Even in hip-hop, they are showing us this. They got how much jewelry, how much this we got. Look what I have. What the white man says is valuable is valuable. So even our leaders are not valuable until they are valuable to white supremacy. This is our problem as the melanated nation. You see what is most black man's success. You see, most black men's success is not going to prison. So most black men, even leaders, will tell you, stay out the pen or go get a job, get you some money. It's all about the bag. Go become a good house Negro, essentially. And you have to realize this comes from men and women and their elders, ancestors, being genetically modified through what's known as the Willie Lynch process or system. You can actually check out the Willie Lynch letters and actually see exactly how the divine masculine and divine feminine were genetically modified in order to be a part of a system economically that would benefit that in which created the system, aka the trust store. It would benefit. So these entities, individuals, ancestors here will put in a trust in a fiduciary relationship in which something should benefit them, but because they're not aware of who they are, then they cannot literally be in the correct position into receiving the benefits. Therefore, the grantor of the trust receives all the benefits. So this is the world within, and this is the world we are in. It is the frequency of the earth. And this is why within the age of information, which is the technological age, technical knowledge or technology is the key. We are in a space where you can find out whatever you need, but your frequency has to match whatever it is that you want to be. And that's the only way that you'll manifest everything that you wish to see, is through the alignment of the frequency, which is why Nikola Tesla said everything is vibration, frequencies, and energy. You are an electrical being. Your skin is epidermis. That's what your flesh is. So it's billions of cells moving around and making this whole, making this solid as a unit. And your eye picks up the vibration of sound, picks up the vibration of a wave, and that's what gives our minds the image of. You're making an image up of me based upon what you picked up electrically speaking throughout your life experience. I look different to every single person tuning into this message right now. That's quantum physics. Quantum meaning micro, physics meaning this reality, this realm, what can be seen, quantum micro. Put your hand underneath a microscope and zoom in, put food underneath a microscope and zoom in, and you'll see microparticles, bacteria moving around depending on what it is you're looking at. That's what this is. So lastly, you're just the brain sitting on that central nervous system, which is why the spine or the 33 vertebrae is so important. That's the Merkaba, that's the holy tree. Energy travels up and down your spine in order for all of your senses to be aligned. Once this is understood, then you can stop working hard and working smart. Most of you I see out here working hard and not working smart. So that was that. Know who you are, so you activate, right? Activate is the key, and attract to yourself what it is in which you see. It's not a riddle. You are energy that's vibrating on a frequency. That's what makes up a body. You should have learned this in physics class, about how proteins interact with DNA, and those are the building blocks of cells, and how cells build up to organs, and how organs make organ systems, and organ systems make organisms. So essentially you are a conglomerate of systems, which is why they have to create the law of the waters or maritime law in order to control or govern you, because you are a complex or construct of systems. So this is how they mind fucking you. And you like being mind fucked, and that's why you're still in the position that you're in. Or else you would have not only corrected your status, but you would be consistently moving towards enlightenment, knowledge of self. You consistently be moving towards enlightenment, knowledge of self, who you are. Because at the end of the day, if you do not get it right, aka ascend, you come back, rewind, you keep coming back in a frequency that matches where you were before. And life only gets better or gets worse, but it never stays the same. So you'll only get better or get worse. Keep fucking around if you want to. This is the Royal Minister coming to you live and direct, broadcasting live from the Universal Broadcasting Station. I had to drop this frequency to you. Now I have a consultation I need to handle. If you need help setting up trust, if you need help clearing your status, you need help getting identification, traveling, you need help with court, understanding the equitable law, understanding how there's always a three-party relationship happening within court, and they're seeking to put you in hot waters, which is why you need bail. if you need to understand the court proceedings and the laws of bankruptcy in order to successfully win inside of a de jure courtroom, which is actually being operated in a de facto manner, meaning it's not being operated based upon anything real. You have to understand these things so that you do not understand the judges. You do not understand the policy officers when they say that, which gives them jurisdiction. So if you need a consultation in turn with anything law, universal law, political law, commercial law, those are the realms. We go into knowledge of self. I can help you figure out your commercial situation, get into the credit space, get into the business space, get into the private space of commerce, of banking, in order for you to get up out of your worker or self-employed position, and you can get into a business owner, equity manager, and an investor position. With that being said, this is Infinite Steve, the Royal Minister, tuning in. Peace.